Throughout the past couple of weeks, we have looked at multiple YouTube channels which lost the majority of their audience. A few days ago, we looked at BuzzFeed, and today I wanted to look at one of my favorite channels that has lost its following and creativity. From the title, you know that we will be speaking about Donut Media, which is an automotive channel and at one point was one of the coolest channels that was on the platform. Until the channel started to kill off some of its most popular series to bring in new series that weren't as entertaining as the old ones, eventually leading to 3 out of the 4 core guys leaving the channel to start their own channels. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel to join the best community on YouTube. Donut Media was my secret obsession back in the day, and I found their content really entertaining, with my favorite series being Up to Speed and also High Low, but only the first season, not the second. But as of today, the channel as a whole is a shell of its former self. It still gets a decent amount of views per video, but the videos and ideas are recycled and the vibe isn't as relaxed and genuine as it once was, focusing way more on getting views rather than focusing on their fan base. So today, let's look at this channel to see how it was started and what happened throughout the years to get us to this point in time where the majority of their old fans left the channel after their favorite creators left the channel and their favorite series got canceled and replaced with cash grab series. Donut Media started to post on the YouTube platform in 2015. The first video posted onto the channel was one titled 24 Hours of Lemons, The World's Craziest Race, Donut Media. This was the start of Donut Media, and at first the company as a whole focused on advertising for brands within the niche. These were practically stunt videos and drifting videos which were sponsored in some way, shape, or form. The videos at first were doing pretty good. Videos like Evolution of the Porsche 911, Donut Media, Nissan 240SX, 9 Must Known Facts, Up to Speed, and 2 Grannies, 1 Lamborghini were some of the videos which gained a ton of views for Donut Media. But these videos were the outliers. For a while, Donut was unable to find consistency within their video views. Sometimes these views would be extremely high for one video, but the next video would have way less views. This was up until they created, in my opinion, their best series ever, which was called Up to Speed, which was hosted by James Pumphrey. Immediately, the Up to Speed videos did numbers for the channel. And looking at their videos, you could see that every single time Up to Speed was posted, it would generate over 1 million or even 2 million views in the very beginning, but would grow even more over time. You see, people liked these videos because they were informative and educational, while also adding in the occasional meme to keep the videos entertaining. This was a big reason why I love this series personally. It was funny to watch and learn, and you would leave the video with new knowledge on legendary cars that you might not have known about before watching the video. It was inclusive to anyone who wanted to watch videos on cars, to the gearheads who were advanced with their knowledge, to the new people just getting into cars. This series brought people together to be entertained by James. This series single-handedly turned Donut from an advertising company to an actual entertaining channel, which boomed in subscribers. After the success of Up to Speed, Donut Media would add 2 other shows onto the channel, one called Wheelhouse that was hosted by Nolan, and the other called Science Garage. These 2 shows were also regarded by longtime fans of the channel as the best series on the channel other than Up to Speed. The combination of Up to Speed and these 2 series really got the fans engaged, and this is when Donut Media would really start to grow, and within a few months, Donut Media would hit 1 million subscribers. Because of this, they'd have a party and would invite people to come out to celebrate with them. Growing fast. They were hiring new hosts for other series, and the views and subscribers kept going up. But then, the pandemic happened, which put a wrinkle in how this team was going to release videos on a week-to-week basis. Even though this was tough to figure out, eventually production would start to roll out new videos, and the crew learned how to adjust to the circumstances, and because the world was locked down and there was nothing anyone could do, James and the team just kept producing content at an insane rate. And because everyone was home and had nothing else to watch, Donut's subscriber count would soar through the roof. Eventually, once the pandemic ended, things went back to normal. But then, Matt Levin, the co-owner of Donut Media, sold the company to Recurrent Ventures, which is where some of the issues started to arise within the company. As time went on, Donut Media started to switch up its content. Instead of looking at strictly car videos, they'd add filler content into the mix. Just a little fluff to hold the subscribers over. But people started to hate the filler content. They do list videos or videos that just didn't fit the original format of the channel. Subscribers started to feel like Donut Media was going too corporate, and they'd start to voice their opinions on the channel over on Reddit. A Reddit user posted this into the Donut Media subreddit, which read, "I know I'm making the same post that legit everyone has done, but hear me out. I watched Donut since 2018. I used to love their Up to Speed and Wheelhouse episodes, but their new content just sucks and isn't interesting me. Like, I never watched their new videos because they have been doing the same crap for 4 months. The last Wheelhouse episode was 2 months ago. Same with Up to Speed. Instead, they have been making crappy tier list videos, and they made Tool Party, a show that tests tools. It is so bland and uninteresting to me. They have been doing stuff that other content creators have done." And another Reddit post about this topic is that it takes a while to film, which is true, and post weekly. So Donut said they have been posting this content for free space to make Wheelhouse and Up to Speed again. But they have been doing these garbage videos for 4 months. They can at least make a WH and UTS vid like once every 2 weeks, or make them weekly again, then make this crap every once in a while. I don't know, man, DM just fell off. I'm on the brink of unsubbing from the channel, not the sub, and watching better car content instead. Subscribers started to feel the same way as this user, and that's because Donut started to kill off its old series on the channel, and started to take the Mr. Beast approach towards its content, focusing more on views over interest. Instead of spending a ton of money on mods to a specific car or testing different mods and having those videos come out quickly, Donut started to ration those bigger video ideas, so that it wasn't spending so much money and not making a ton of profit. The old corporate takeover by Recurrent Ventures. Eventually, Donut Media would stop Wheelhouse and Up to Speed. And if we look at the Up to Speed playlist, they have new videos, but they aren't listed as Up to Speed videos. Just random educational videos, and it seemed like they were trying their hand at documentary videos instead of the old educational videos, but it just seems like it didn't pan out good. Another Reddit thread asked people why Donut Media is so hated now, and people commented saying they went from bringing out high quality documentary style episodes on car brands or the cars themselves or famous auto industry stories, and even race car drivers themselves, to bringing out Wish.com videos, list videos, TikTok debunking videos. James would get emotional and cry in his videos with tragic endings because he legitimately spoke from his heart. Listen to him now and hear how he dismisses every new format of video they're making. He jokes so often about how they're just a clothing brand now. In reply to this, someone wrote, "It has been a really tough change to watch. The old videos were incredible. I doubt they expected such a crappy shift when they sold the channel, and I'm sure they regret selling at this point. I just can't believe we went from Zach working on a car in his own driveway to the unoriginal reaction videos they have now. Lost a lot of personality. I actually think the real mechanic stuff videos are where their true personality shine through the most. And the 100 mph pocket bike series had some resemblance of their old stuff." As Donut Media went more corporate, old subscribers could see that the hosts of the shows weren't as genuine as they used to be. At first, they all seemed extremely happy and had fun at the job, and they didn't feel like it was a 9 to 5. But after the acquisition of Donut Media by Recurrent Ventures, it seemed like the channel stopped taking risks and focused more on content that they knew would appeal to a wider demographic, and lost its identity with its original concept, leaving OG fans scratching their heads as to what just happened to the channel. As time went on, you could tell that the vibe wasn't the same. James was missing in a ton of videos. Up to Speed was dead and never coming back, and Jeremiah and Zach seemed like they were on their way out too, which is exactly what happened. On June 21st, 2024, Jeremiah and Zach posted a video onto a new channel called Big Time. This video was titled "Why We're Leaving Donut." In the video, they speak about how they got started at Donut and how fun it was to make content and be around the guys. They also talk about how it wasn't what they expected at first, and as time went on, it moved further away from what they actually expected. At the end of the video, they said that they still liked the guys over at Donut, but it started to be too draining to try to get a video greenlit, and how every time that they had an idea for a video, they now had to ask the company if they could make it and upload it, and the majority of the time their boss would shoot them down. After a while, they just stopped asking. They also say that instead of the fun environment that they were used to before Donut was sold, it now became a company looking to see how they can grow and make more and more money. They started to feel like Donut became a 9 to 5, and they had to ask their boss for permission to do just about anything.
Got acquired by a company that took over, and while they didn't have a ton of influence in the creative, they whenever you get bought by someone, things just change, you know? And it's not like those people are bad people. I still love everyone at Donut. They're like my family. It hurts to like think that we're leaving them.
Yeah, to be clear, this is very bittersweet.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it just, you know, Donut, what I signed up for, Donut wasn't ever exactly that, and it just over time got further away from that. And especially once we sold, it was, you know, my previous job, same thing happened. We got bought out by an equity firm, and I was just trying to get away from that. So I was like, oh, I'll go work at this small YouTube channel. Then the next thing I knew, it was a big YouTube channel that was worried about growth and, you know, EBITDA, and you know, we got sold, and it was quickly, I was in the same spot I was.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are under the impression that we own Donut, that we owned it, and so their success was directly translated to our success. And in a lot of ways it was. Like, we can't sit here and say like we don't have a lot of, or we're not fortunate for what Donut has done for us.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's not untrue to say that when we joined Donut, there was this, you know, like big shiny object at the end of the tunnel, which would be like, hey, you guys will own a part of this, so if we ever sell, you'll like be good. You know, you'll be good. And
and thousands of shares.
Right. Yeah. But more than that, like money aside, it got to the point to where it was COVID happened. We worked so crazy hard that when we came out of it, we then got acquired, and then our fun YouTube job, which is like the best job on the world, in the planet, because you get to do the things you want to do. Now we don't necessarily get to do that. It's a 9 to 5, and it just,
I think it's a product of getting too big, growing too big, and then trying to just never drop down.
Right.
And I think, you know, I've always said one of the coolest things about YouTube is that you can take swings. You can try stuff you want to do, and if it doesn't work, you find out immediately, and then, you know, you revise. And we stopped doing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
And we just got to where we were trying to make videos that we knew would do well.
Right. Instead of making videos that we just wanted to do.
Yeah.
And when you have to convince people who are paying for it to do the videos you want to do, it gets old fast.
Yeah, and that was another big thing too. I mean, I went blue in the face pitching, trying to work on the S14, trying to do a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do, to the point that I just didn't want to pitch anymore.
Right. Yeah, it's like you can only take so much rejection, because a lot of, like, especially when you're a creative person and you come up with these ideas, they're like a part of you in a sense. It's your like personality coming into video form. And when someone keeps like knowing no, and the reason for the no is totally unrelated to how good it could be. It's ego, it's money, it's, you know, a whole bunch of, you know, excuses, instead of, you know, how it used to be, where it's just like, yeah, let's try it and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And we lost a little bit of that.
Yeah, and that was a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
And then one day I woke up and I was like, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, why do we got it? Hold on, we don't got to do this no more. That's the stuff I miss. And I think, you know, when you get acquired by people who are like professionals and they're more like business type, you lose a little bit of that.
Yeah.
It's not by, it just kind of creeps up on you, because there's something about like the dynamic of it where you don't know if you can be like, it's almost like vulnerability. You got to be vulnerable with people to like be goofy, right? And you get new people in that might not be your vibe, and then you kind of lose that. And then if one person loses it, another person loses it. And then now all of a sudden you just have this group of people that it just feels so much different. And, you know, and that's like, it's heartbreaking, really.
Now, this is pretty sad. I feel like this is usually what happens when a big firm comes in and tries to suck all the money from a channel. They put creativity to the side and boost the idea of spending little money so they can get a higher return on investments, which is why Donut started to produce other videos besides high-low and other videos which showed them working on cars. At the end of the day, a firm doesn't care about the subscribers. They view them as potential dollar signs, and the more they could squeeze money from them without spending so much money to entertain the subscribers was something that a firm will do all the time. They just focus on growth rather than entertainment, because if you gain 100k subscribers, then that's an extra couple of $1,000s that they can make from video views. This is the same story for any other channel who sold to a firm. They will destroy the company and then sell it when they feel like it's not profitable anymore. But if they didn't make a ton of changes, then the channel would still be as profitable as it was, if not more than what they acquired it for. After a while of James being MIA from the channel and fans being worried about if he was still with the company or not, James finally broke the silence and released a video on an all-new channel called Speed. The video was titled Why I Left Donut, and it was posted on August 1st, about a month and a half after Jeremiah and Zach posted their video. During this video, James took a trip down memory lane and told us how the channel was first started. He relived the memories he made there, and also told us how much fun it was to create content and see this very small channel grow into the channel that it was today. But at the end of the video, he started to speak about recurrent ventures, and how at first they weren't hard to work with, and they pretty much still had creative freedom. But over time, that changed, and it would be harder and harder to see eye to eye. This led to disputes between James and Recurrent Ventures, but ultimately it came down to James realizing that he didn't own the company and he never would. He also realized that whatever changes Recurrent makes to Donut would ultimately impact how viewers view him, because everyone thought that James was the owner of Donut.
Slowly, it got less and less fun. And I think a number of things contributed to that. We were and are involved in less and less decisions. There was more structure, more bosses. And honestly, at this point, we were all just really tired. Jesse and I have been going full into this thing since 2016, and the other guys have been going just as hard, a lot of times harder, since they came on. And we did that because there was this idea that was either told to us or imagined, probably a lot of both, that we were all building something together, right? But that thing that we were building wasn't ours. And it never was. And it never would be. And I think that that's the original sin of Donut. We don't own it. And we never owned it. None of the guys that make videos got rich when it sold. And more importantly, without owning Donut, we don't get to decide what Donut does, which is scary when you're the faces of it. The new leadership at Donut and I often disagreed about what was best for Donut. I was very vocal about what I thought, probably too vocal. I'm not very good at hiding how I feel, which ironically is something that I always felt made me better at this job. I've cried twice during this video so far. Jesse ended up leaving in February, which was a huge hit to my motivation to stay, and eventually me and the guys in charge decided that it was best if we ended my contract early. Now, this relationship that I've built with you guys over the past 9 years is something that I've worked very hard for, and something that I am incredibly grateful for. It's also something that I'm extremely protective over. It's what every YouTube channel is based on, the audience, you guys. And every time a company makes a decision, it has the potential to put that relationship at risk. And at Donut, I don't feel like I have enough say in what those decisions are and whether or not we should take those risks. So I'd rather start a new thing.
Speed and Big Time both have found success in the few months that they have been around, both growing to over 1 million subscribers each. And it looks as if both channels are really entertaining their viewers again, and are happy that they can be who they were from the very beginning, and weren't stuck doing whatever made the channel profitable and could make content that they wanted to make. Now, just like after a breakup, it's never an even break, and this goes for Donut and the guys that left. Donut used to get a minimum of 1 million views per video when all of the guys worked together. But after they left, Donut Media has gone right back to having inconsistent views, with some videos doing really well, but others struggling. But on the other hand, Speed and Big Time are getting millions of views and a lot of traction. And regardless of what they post, they still get a ton of attention. People enjoy their videos without feeling like they are watching a corporate channel that focuses on profits over people. And even if we look at the Donut Media social blade, there's a clear correlation between when everyone left the channel and the views. In July, Donut had its worst performing month in years, only having around 15 million views, and months after that, it continued around the same view count until last month. In January, they only had around 13 million views, which doesn't seem like a huge fall off, but is scary if you're looking at this through the lenses of a company. I feel like Recurrent will definitely do layoffs if Donut can't improve their view count, and I feel like this isn't what anyone envisioned the channel would look like after they sold it, which is again pretty sad. Donut Media was a channel that was all about cars, which was pretty awesome if you asked me back in the day. It was chill, but it was also really funny all at the same time. The series that they produced were great and really helped boost their subscriber count. But after selling to Recurrent Ventures, they found out the hard way that they wouldn't have the same freedom that they had when they didn't have a firm owning them. This is kind of like what happened with Smosh when they sold the channel. And then the company who owned Smosh literally forced them to shill merch whenever they could, and they limited the creative freedom that once brought them joy, which led to Anthony leaving and the channel imploding on itself. This is pretty much what's happening over at Donut. Fans are starting to hate this new content, and they will start to turn on Nolan or who's ever hosting that video. Eventually the views will continue to fall, and the overall reputation of the channel will be very negative. Nolan will more than likely be fired or leave, and then the channel will really be unrecognizable from what it used to be. But that's just my theory on what could happen with Donut if the views continue to dwindle and fall. But how do you feel about Donut Media and everyone leaving? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to get us closer to 200,000 subscribers before the end of February. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.